The Chroniclers of Chaos contain profanity, violence, and occasional adult situations, and is not meant for people under the age of 18. Viewer and listener discretion is advised, dears.
That's just right. Now, how did that song go again? Right. Light be true and wicked too, keep us warm with a gentle brew.
New adventure with every taste. That's what Mr. Skyhorn makes.
Drafty stews in a boiling bowl, churn them up while thunder rolls, dole them out and raise a toast. Swamp just fall and on we roll. That's what Mr. Skyhorn makes. Everybody, welcome back to the Secrets of Skyhorn Lighthouse, the Fiend, Session 4. I am your Calypso of Chaos, Chelsea, for the simpler term, and with me are my sexy seafarers. Say hi, sexy seafarers.
They're all around me.
Yeah, no, exactly. And as if you see, our resident psychopath has purchased a lovely addition to his upcoming cosplay of his character. I'm so glad you're embodying him now. It's fun. It's fun.
Don't get drunk and get on Amazon.
Or do. Barely the situation.
The true trap is at sea.
Yes, exactly. Alrighty, we're gonna quickly get into it, but first, before we get into it, I want everybody to reintroduce themselves. That was English, you understand what I'm saying? Someone introduce themselves, go!
Webby's out.
Oh no!
He's like, I'm gone!
Was I too intimidating? I'm sorry. Was I too intimidating?
I'm Sarah. I
Just pop up!
Dagon, a sexy water gymnasty.
Hey! Hey! Moving on.
I'm Teacup, and I play Adeline Peregrine, and your princess is in another lighthouse.
Love it.
I'm Travis. I'm playing Craith, the aforementioned resident psychopath.
With the horns. Love it. Travis. Do I need to get the jar out? Do I have to get it out now?
Should always be out.
Oh God.
That's the trick. The jar should always be out.
Okay, moving on.
And then I am Ota. I am our resident PNG tuber because I do not like to be perceived. And I play Lain, the rogue warlock.
With the little sparrow
Now
tune.
Yes, now swashbuckler rogue and hexblade warlock. So.
Hey.
And my name is Webby, and I play Kodak, whose favorite flower is a clover.
Yes! I love it. Also, I love
so
the
much.
mood lighting you got going on, Webby. It's a very, very...
Oh, don't you worry. intense.
They'll get intense. Love it. Love it. Okay, cool. So you all rushed up to the quarters of dear Lucian Skyhorn. And now that is where we pick up our session. Afterwards, Lucian is like, okay, so who wants some tea? It just casually asks you all tea.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, good. And just starts heading over to his table and starts whipping up something and whipping up some tea. And it's not before long that you hear one singular bang on the door and a of course the mic doesn't pick that up. It's like a we'll just do the normal thing. As you look over and the door is still very hot with cast heat metal on it that someone tried to or something tried to bang on it and burn themselves. And you just hear more of the from the other side as they grumble in anger and frustration. And then you hear boom, 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 boom. Then go head back downstairs and just, you can still hear the distance of the stuff downstairs, but they are no longer coming up to the door because there is no way to get inside now. And actually Lucian is like, actually, a little bit of help, and points to some of the stuff that he used for barricading the door and pointing it back at the orange door. Would be helpful if someone can.
Great on it.
Okay, so
Lane's
Kodak.
also like digging her heels and just shoving things over there.
Yep. Once again, Kodak and Ling team up to barricade the door and put everything together. It's like, oh man, it's nice to have people around, especially when you've been trapped and worked here for a while. And anyway, and just continues making the tea and just kind of just like, okay. And you all notice that he kind of is doing tea differently, where he has these vials that would be something from like a scientist lab, and it's just like, okay, and that's the thing. Oh, not that one, and puts it away, and then just starts mixing and concocting and other things like this.
Mr. Skyhorn.
Hmm?
How long have you been up here?
Sorry, I gotta hold for a second. Your accent changed.
Yeah, it did.
That's fine. It's okay.
Who's that?
Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
That was Kodak.
Where? Where did Kodak?
It's okay. It's okay. You can retcon that to what you want Kodak's accent to be.
Exactly.
Mr. Skyhorn,
There he is.
exactly how long have you been up here?
Oh, well, you mean trapped or working here?
I'll take both.
Well, trapped the last 3 days, and working here most of my life. It is Skyhorn's duty to always keep the lighthouse lit and be a guiding light to other ships along. So, yeah, it usually was me and my family, but I'm the only one left. So, ha!
My apologies.
Is that like a recent development or just an overtime thing?
Working here?
No, like all by yourself.
It's been an overtime thing. I've been here for a while, but being here for a while on your own free time and being trapped here, two very different, and just it just has that little glint in his eye. It's just like a bit of.
Like the glint of it's a good thing we arrived now, because soon he'd start talking to pineapples or something as though they were people.
Volleyballs.
Yeah, volleyballs. I think I was thinking coconuts and my brain went pineapple. Yes, this is correct.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was. I mean, it wasn't just me. There were. With this recent storm that was happening, at least there were a lot of seagulls around, and I managed to. Did you meet a seagull?
We did.
So you got my message.
Indeed,
Yes.
sir.
That was the. That was.
Yeah, this is like, yes, okay, I knew it worked. I knew it. And it just kind of goes into crazy like happiness. And Mirage is like, yes, Lucian, we got your message. Do you want to do the tea before? And then you turn and you see the pot is boiling and it's like, oh, right. And just going back to his tea. And Mirage looks at you all and is just like, don't worry about him. I know it sounds like he's got a couple screws loose, but he's a good man. What was that, dear? Oh, nothing. Just, can't wait for this tea. So.
Yeah.
Inside.
Yeah.
Inside on what?
That laugh.
Oh, okay, fine. Insight.
Okay.
Okay.
The 4 on the die. It wouldn't even matter.
She's just laughing because she was worried that Lucian would have heard her say he's got a couple screws loose. That's essentially all it is. Oh wait, hold on, we're underwater. We're underwater.
There's a mortar and pestle somewhere around here.
You mean like this starts unscrewing things.
And you see that Lucian grabs a few different size jars and vials because the man's been up here by himself for a while, so I haven't been able to get that stuff. And he's normally by himself, so it's like, okay, I guess big for yes, Kodak.
Is it just an open floor plan? Is it just like a kitchen with everything else?
Unfortunately, it's a open floor plan. As you see downstairs was kind of if you remember, is oh, that was kind of the bed area, that was a storage area. Up here is just kind of an open floor plan where there's just that big fireplace, and then there's a desk where those carpenter tools that you see, but there's also little glass jars and vials and beakers that are just all around the place and everything like that. So he's had to make do with what he has for last few days.
Is there more stairs leading up?
Nope. This is the main top. The only thing that would be up above is the hatch, but that is directly to the light of the lighthouse above.
Yeah, that's
that's all it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just is okay, big one for you, big one. Okay. And it's just starts kind of pulling the different things of tea, and it's just starts carrying here you go, and gives you all different cup size of tea. And it's just oh wait, yeah, before I forget, snaps his fingers, and immediately a bunch of berries appears in his hands. Anybody want one? That's what I've been surviving off of the last few days.
I'll take one.
I'm good, thanks. I appreciate it, but thank you. I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't turn down a berry.
So gives you a nice Webby, I like that. So offers you the berries. Mirage takes one takes one and munches on it. They're essentially good berries, so they would heal you, but at the same time, we are actually now going to transition to where you are having your short rest, and you just kind of essentially it's been decided that you have to kind of wait it out until all the eel folk downstairs are gone, but you don't know how long that's going to be. So you're just kind of sitting and waiting for things to happen and whatnot. Lain, what would you be doing during this short rest that you all have now find yourself stuck in this kind of predicament?
To be honest, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. So if you want to skip
you want me to move on to somebody
come
else?
Back around later,
You want to hold your action?
I'll let you know.
You want to hold your action? Okay, cool. You'll hold your action.
Hold my short rest.
You'll hold your short rest. Okay.
Hold my narration.
Okay, so then I would say, Dagon, you're the next. You're first. Dagon, what would you be doing while you are doing the short rest while you're up here?
Well, first of all, before he even takes a sip of the tea, he's going to investigate it to see if it's good tea. As in, there's nothing in it. There's no something that's something bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that bad.
Sure. You can make an investigation check. You would have seen that Mirage just drinks the tea herself.
Yeah, that means nothing to him. He's a suspicious boy.
He's very suspicious of everything.
Rightfully so. Oh no.
Oh no.
Not a good start to the night.
Was that nat 1?
That's my first.
Oh,
No,
Oh lord.
that's a 5. No, wait.
That's a 5.
5. That's an 8.
It's an 8.
Ooh.
Here's the
Feel
thing,
better.
though. You still rolled a nat 1.
Yeah.
So you look at this tea, and the smells are just... They're so delicious.
Mhm.
It smells, and it looks like one of the best teas you have ever seen. And you're also sort of salivating at the mouth a little bit of what you think it'll taste like.
Okay, well, I think that he's healed up from the
Yeah.
fight, but he's still a little, out of it. Just, that was a lot. He's used to fighting people,
Mhm.
not monsters. I think, so this is kind of a little new. So he's a little out of it. So yeah, he's just kind of so exhausted, he doesn't really care. So he
Okay.
sips on it a little.
Mhm.
And
It is indeed quite delicious.
it's delicious. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, so he sips on with his tea. And I think when we came up, was he with Adeline? Okay. I think
No,
they went
you
together.
you and Adeline are together. What would be Dagon's favorite scent, you would think?
His favorite what?
Scent.
Scent?
Yeah.
Probably it's a little cliche, but the ocean is probably his favorite smell. Also pine.
Pine.
Pine and the ocean. That sort of
Nice.
sea salt air, and pine is probably his favorite.
You finish taking a sip of your tea, and you can't help but taste a little bit of kind of a little bit of the salt, as well as kind of the smoothness of natural tea. And you look down and you see that it's transformed into a dark blue, and it is starting to emanate the sense of the sea, and there are little bits of sense of pine here and there coming from the teacup.
Okay. He's gonna just kind of look down at his cup. And he's gonna look over at Adeline and say, anything funny going on with your cup?
May I check into it, DM?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Why am I'm switching the dice here in a minute because
Yeah.
this is garbage. I got a 10.
A 10. Okay. You look at your tea and it just looks normal as of you haven't taken a sip yet, have you?
No.
So it looks normal as of right now, but it doesn't seem to be anything dangerous.
Looks to be pretty normal, but she looks at Dagon and she goes, once was enough for me. And I would like to cast Detect Thoughts on Lucian, please.
Okay. Alrighty. Are you doing surface level or are you trying to get deep within?
Surface level for now.
Okay. Cool. You cast Detect Thoughts on Lucian. You see Lucian kind of passing around the tea, and it's just like, so nice that people are here. Hopefully they can fix the problem that's downstairs. But don't want to send them out yet. They need to be doing well. And then your thought process is interrupted Adeline, when you hear Mirage's voice in your head. I understand that you're a bit wary, but I can assure you he means no harm. Is he a bit cuckoo crazy? Yes, but he doesn't have a evil bone in his body. And you see her just sipping her tea. And you notice that hers is a little bit of it's turned into a purple color, but it seems to you can even smell it because she's kind of nearby. It's giving off wafts of jasmine and roses, even though it's a purple. Give me a perception check.
I switched dice. I shouldn't.
No.
7.
Yeah, you just see her kind of drinking her tea, but she's looking at you, casting that message to let you know Lucian doesn't mean any harm, even though he's a bit crazy.
Right. And she sends back into her head.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, one can never be too careful, and I didn't intend to go any deeper than surface level. But thank you for the warning.
You hear back, I understand, and I appreciate it. He's been through a lot. And just keep sipping the tea. And as that happens, Dagon, you see Lucian immediately come and be like, how's the tea? And then like looks into your cup, is like, oh, nice. What'd you taste? What'd you smell?
The ocean and pine, which happens to be my favorite. How did you do that?
Yes, that seems to work. A little, when you're here by yourself just doing the lighthouse, you tend to work on some things here and there, and since a man of some magic, figured I'd apply it to some ingredients and that stuff, but that's work. Let me write that down real quick, and then goes and like grabs like a notepad and just like, hold on, it's stuck underneath notepad, and then just like, okay, so here, so you said, so it's a blue color, and of pine and ocean, you said?
Yes.
Ocean. And favorite, right?
Yes, definitely.
Wonderful. My dear, how about yours? And points to you, Adeline.
Yeah, she'll take a sip of hers.
What are your favorite scents?
I say for her, she likes citrus, and she likes mint.
Ooh, citrus and mint. Nice. You take a sip, and you then immediately get hit with kind of a very strong spearmint taste. But then there's a little bit of that orangey flavor to it as you look down and you see that you are smelling the scents of mint and citrus together. And it's also turning into a lovely aquamarine color. And Lucian's like, oh, very fascinating. Orange and mint. I would have never thought that would be your combo.
Well, both of them have a bit of mellow flavors, can be added to many things. I personally, in my blend of perfume, have white citrus.
Intriguing, indeed. All right, well, that's something to consider, and other things like that. Yes. All right. Mm-hmm. You were gonna say something?
Taste of orange crushed toothpaste.
But it's good.
She loves brushing her teeth and drinking orange juice at the same time.
Yes.
Oh God!
But it's good. To you, it is good. Like this normally would probably be a blah flavor, but this is actually very good.
I'm gonna look up to see if there is an. I feel like I've had a citrusy mint tea before.
There probably is somewhere. I just can't think of
I
it
thought you
right
were going to
now.
ask, is there an Orange Crest toothpaste? The answer is yes, I use it.
I love it. Yes.
Well, I did once upon a time.
Gotcha.
Dagon hears that and just makes a mental note.
You too, my God.
My.
Get a room.
We're in one, but there's a lot of people here at the moment.
Yeah, wait, where's my fan? Hold on, wait. There we go. I love it.
The thunder's going off. Shut up, thunder!
Shut up,
Now's
thunder.
not the time!
Now's not the time to ruin this beautiful moment.
We are
Shut it!
Shut up, we're flirting!
I love it.
Slap that on the t-shirt.
Yes, definitely put that on a t-shirt. All right, cool. So then it's like, oh, well, very nice. And then looks at you, Dagon, and it's like, I look. There's stuff that is happening downstairs that I think. And you see him trying to like struggle, be like, he starts pacing back and forth, like, how do I say this? How do I do this? I don't get it. Nah, 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 nah. And so he's now pacing back and forth, trying to figure out what to say.
You're all right. Just take your time. What's going on?
Take a breath, dear.
Yeah, everything's all right.
And Lucian takes a breath and sits down, and it's just like, okay, here's the thing. I have been trapped here for 3 days, and I'd rather not be trapped any longer because those eel folk downstairs, they have managed to grab hold of a very special Skyhorn item that is quite important with our job here at the lighthouse.
And what would that be exactly?
Tell me by chance, did you come across a water elemental when you came here?
Yes.
Yes.
We did. Yes.
And he looks very frustrated. It's like,
Why?
and it attacked you.
And a what?
Yes. Please,
Yep.
say more words now, please.
Yes, okay, yes, yes. Well, you might think it's because the elemental was mean or cruel and everything, and that's not the case. Elementals just don't attack out of nowhere. Us Skyhorns, we have something called a bowl of commanding water elementals, and the eelfolk have got it. And he like hides. It's just like this.
Wait, sorry. You're fine. You're all right, Lucian. There's no need for all that. You're all right. Don't worry.
It was a mistake.
Yeah, it's not your fault. They have the water elemental. Is that what you're saying?
Mirage pats his shoulders like, it's all right, Lucian. I keep going. And he... Well... Sorry. So the bowl of commanding water elementals has been passed down for generations, and it is what we use to not attack, but to basically mediate and make sure things go swimmingly and things like that. It's been in the family for 6 generations. And the eelfolk have not always gone along best with us, and the elementals were our way of making sure they would not get anywhere close. But I imagined they got sick and tired of it and decided to uprise. And a few days ago, managed to somehow, I don't know how, somehow break into the lighthouse when I wasn't the most attentive, and I was forced to run before I could head down and protect the bull. and now they have control of it.
Okay.
So, that's why that elemental attacked you. I know it came off me, but don't blame that. It's because of the eel folk. And, but yeah, what's strange is that, eel folk like that can't control that bull. They don't have enough willpower to maintain concentration, which is why I'm thinking the newly captured people that I heard, yesterday, I can't remember anymore. They took them downstairs and have been using them to summon these elementals.
Using them?
Using them.
What does that mean? Using how?
To summon an elemental, you have to concentrate and be in front of the ball and have control of being able to summon it and stay there and control things. I have not gone down there personally, so I don't know what their tactics are, but the fact that they've been doing this for the last at least 36 hours, it's not good.
Yeah, I say so. So
It's alarming.
yeah, not great. You said it's a bowl? Is that what you said it was?
Yes, it's a bowl. It's fixed in place, so it can't be moved. So don't try and break it. That would cause more chaos. But it needs to get out of the hands of the eel folk. And I would do it, but I... yeah, look at me. And just like gestures at his short, white hair frazzled self. I can't do it alone.
You're fine, darling. So I take it you would like us to help you find this bowl? Is that it?
If at all possible. It would it'd help with the storm, though again, I don't understand how the eel folk were able to infiltrate, given that there was some kind of magic barrier to make sure no one but friendly ships could come, but something interfered, and I can't understand what the eel folk are saying, but it's very weird that they are doing this much of a riot and all that. It's strange. And he starts like pondering, just like
Very strange.
very strange.
Sounds like there might be something more going on here than just a bit of thievery. As fun as that is. Right. You said these recently captured people are in the basement?
Yes, there was a little while back, there was a ship that came along, which I hate to also ask again, have you been hearing about a certain pearl by any chance or things like that?
Yes, we have heard some rumors.
All right, well, yes, it's been rumored to be around here, but I've been searching for it and I can't find it. Not that I would want it anyway, because it's bad, but yes, I imagine they came around here to try and find it, but ended up getting captured, and just were taken in. It seemed to be, and they seemed to kind of go underneath. Like the ship, I think, again, storm, I couldn't see much, but the ship kind of came and crashed because an elemental brought them here, and then they were taken by the eel folk.
That's not great.
No, yeah, especially because it was an important one with to travel good ships. What were they saying? The Jade Lion, something like that. Webby, are you okay?
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Kodak has it.
Webby, you scared us.
That's hilarious.
I didn't want it to happen.
But yeah. So
We've heard of this ship. Yes, we were looking for someone that was supposed to be on that. So
Several someones.
yes, if you're saying that this bowl is downstairs where these people are kept, then I don't see why we can't get a third thing for somebody.
You see him look up, and tears start welling in his eyes. He's like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And he starts like kind of like grasping your hand and kneeling down. It's like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's quite all right, dear. I understand sentimental value for family. So, I understand.
Appreciate it. But again, might want to rest for a while until you get stuff back up because you still hear the downstairs. Like, now's not a good time.
I would agree.
But that doesn't mean you can be prepared. Actually, would you mind if I tried something?
Tried what, exactly? You're gonna have to be more specific.
I have something I've been working on that might aid you in fighting.
Is it another potion?
Dagon
looks.
Not exactly.
Just glares at Craith. Is it another potion?
Just turn and look at Craith.
Now you start asking questions. You didn't ask questions before.
Nothing that you need to digest, huh? I just need a weapon. It's something small. Like something small. I promise to go back. I promise.
What are you going to do with it? Before I give you one of my daggers, which mean a great deal to me, why would I give it to you? What are you going to do to it?
Just starts kind of cowering a bit with your intimidation. It's like,
I want to know before I hand it over, darling. That's it. They were made by someone very dear to me. So, I don't just have them ruined.
Well, no, it won't ruin, but just might aid in case things get dire.
Well, oh, what the hell? As if this day could go any worse. And he kind of reaches underneath. I never kind of said this, but his daggers are kept strapped to his back and on a back sheath, so they come out, like that. And he takes. So when he has his cloak on, they're hidden, but Adeline currently has his cloak.
Yeah.
So he takes out one of the daggers. He has two. Takes out one, kind of just looks at it. All right. Do you think
she's just sitting there? She starts blushing.
It's like, okay, great, thank you. And he delicately takes it. It's like, it'll take a few minutes, but
very, very sharp. So please be careful. Don't hurt yourself.
Starts examining it, and it's just like,
I take better care of that thing than I do myself. So please be careful. Don't hurt yourself.
Right, and just give me a few minutes, and then he goes to his table and starts. He places it down, and he gets out little spectacles that just start zooming in and inspecting everything, and he starts getting to work on it.
Dagon's standing there with his arms crossed. He looks over at Adeline. Did I just make a terrible mistake? And he just looks so solemn, like, did I just make a terrible mistake?
She's going to take his hand and just hold it with both of her hands and just be like, we have to accept whatever help we can get, dear. We need all the help we can get with dealing with those nasty beasties.
There's a little hint of a blush that comes across Dagon's cheeks, which I think for somebody that's blue, his cheeks just go a little navy. Slight little blush. And he goes, well, I'm just not used to help offered without a charge. So, I'm a bit skeptical.
She looks up at him and she goes, well, maybe that's something you need to start getting used to.
Maybe. Maybe. You doing all right? That was quite a lot downstairs.
I'm much better now. The tea's helped.
That was quite lovely. It was an unexpected surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's more to this chap than meets the eye.
There's more to a lot of people than meets the eye.
That is incredibly true.
I haven't really gone onto the surface level of many of the folks here, but I don't feel comfortable tapping into many minds at once. It could give me a headache.
We can do that. Tap into people's minds.
Yes, it's called Detect Thoughts. It's a cheeky little spell I was taught when I was younger, and
That is...
to the detriment of most of my family.
I would not want to know my family members' thoughts whatsoever. So that's very cheeky. But that's fun.
I had to know to figure out when I could sneak out.
Really had to sneak out, but such as it is, I was pretty much a free spirit as a child, so didn't have to sneak out much. Also,
Well, first of all,
family told it like it was, so if I was being a right dick, my mom would tell me straight up, so.
Well, first of all, you're not a woman. Second of all, you don't have the upbringing that I had, where you were kept basically in a gilded cage.
I'm sorry. It must have been difficult.
That's why I snuck out.
I can imagine. I understand the importance of freedom. So I can understand a little bit. So I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It's all in the past now. I'm free as a bird.
Yes, you are. And walked right into this mess, as have we all. And he's looking around the room.
In one cage, or out one cage and in another, as it were.
So, yeah, definitely.
Both of you give me perception check real quick.
Oh, God.
Okay. I think it's going to be a little bit better because... nope, it's not.
Nope. Well...
Not rolling good tonight, folks. It's a 10.
15?
Okay. 15. You know what? I'll let you have this one, Dagon. You turn and you just notice Mirage has been looking at you both, but then looks down and drinks her tea and just kind of has a soft smirk on her face.
He sees this.
Yeah, but it's not like mocking. It's more like, oh, that's adorable.
Dagon just raises an eyebrow at her. Doesn't say anything, but just... Really?
You hear in your head, it's entertaining. No, hold on, that's not her voice. It's entertaining. And just so you know, she likes you and just keeps on drinking the tea.
Spilling the tea over here, metaphorically.
Yes. Spilling the tea. I'm going to be spilling the tea here in a minute when I fall out of this chair.
I'm sorry, Mirage. It's just she's a little bit like,
no, this is great. This is great.
He's a shipper.
Waiting for
the
this.
captain of this ship.
I've been waiting for this. He oh God, what would he say back? What did she say again? I blacked out as soon as you said it. What did you say?
I don't even remember what I said.
She at first said to you in message in your head,
Yeah.
it's entertaining. And by the way, she likes you. And she's referring to Adeline.
Well, I'm so glad I could be entertaining for you. In a very sarcastic voice.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, in message again, you hear, I know when I've struck a nerve and I apologize. I'll let you back to having your moment. And just keeps drinking the tea.
Didn't strike a nerve. I'm just not accustomed to having people in my head.
Silent. And she drinks her tea. And with that, actually, because you said so, Lain, we're going to move with you next. What was the thing that Lain wanted to do?
So I think that Lain is like sitting on a barrel or a box or something. She's in the pose where like the one knee is bent up against the chest, and then like the other one's kind of hanging over the side. She's sipping her tea, listening to this conversation. She sees them having this moment. She starts humming, "Can you feel the love tonight?" to herself.
My dear, I'm gonna need you to make me a stealth check to make sure that nobody else hears you humming that.
Oh god, okay.
I will let you have advantage, so I'll be nice.
I mean, if they do, so all the better.
I know, right?
Past perception of 15. Not that high.
Oh god, it's
21.
at advantage. That's 20.
20.
not a nat 20, a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, dirty 20. Yeah, so yeah. Nobody else notices, but you're just like,
She's just like quietly whistling.
Oh,
Kodak
right,
notices.
that's
I'm
right,
just quietly
Kodak.
whistling to
I got
myself.
21 passive perception.
That's right, Kodak. You would be the only one noticing Lain going like, or the equivalent to it because of copyright. So,
Just giving them like a little smirk and like side glance.
as you're humming this love song, and Kodak just notices straight away.
Kodak just kind of.
I'm obviously like bombastic side eyeing the two of them. But yeah, she's sipping her tea, whatever it is that tastes like. And I imagine though, like something I feel like what Lain would do is that as we're sitting there, the people are talking, and Lucian kind of has his back turned, working on whatever he's doing at this desk. I feel like she's kind of just looking around, and she would look up and see that hatch that seems to lead up to where the light is. Is there like a ladder or anything?
Not one that you see.
How high up is it?
How tall are you?
Lain is 5'8".
It's
She's
about
the same height as me.
It's about 10 feet above you.
Do I see any boxes or anything I could, like, parkour off of to get up there? I have a secondary plan if not.
There are barrels. There was a chair, but Lucian's currently sitting on it, working on his thing.
Okay. I don't necessarily want to knock everything over, as funny as that would be. Okay, I would say, looking at these barrels and so on, how what does she think her chances are that she could like kind of clamber and kind of parkour off of them and get up to that hatch?
Like just
would I have to
parkour.
move them around? Yeah, would I have to move them around? Okay.
You notice on these barrels that there are lots of different bottles that are labeled that you recognize are like specific herbs and specific things. You'll also notice some things of like, things from the sea, like barnacles, seashells, all these different kind of little things here and there. Kind of like a normal like laboratory like items of like mixing stuff together. But they're on top of all of these barrels. So You'd have to move stuff around in order to move one.
Okay, instead of doing that, because she doesn't want to get too much attention, she's gonna... Where's Kodak at in relation to her?
I mean, if you want to go on the map, Kodak is standing right next to you.
It's a small space.
But she's just gonna silently finish draining her cup of tea, and then she's gonna kind of... Actually, no, I feel like she would still be holding the tea. She's gonna kind of gently elbow Kodak.
Yes.
She'll kind of like do the she won't like actively shush you, but she'll kind of do like the like finger to the lips, like quiet, with like a little bit of a smirk, not touching his lips, just like to her own. But she will, and she's gonna kind of like look at him and then look up at the hatch, kind of like intentionally, like, want to give me a boost?
I would love to know what you're talking about. I'm not very smart, as it turns out. Would I know what Lain is referencing with no words?
Do I get the impression that he doesn't understand? I'm trying to get across here.
Say, Kodak, you gotta roll insight to see if you can understand what Lain is trying to do. What Lain is trying to say without words. Let's see how well this bond is.
I see your hand moving, but I don't know what this means.
Yeah. I do not speak sign language.
I don't speak sign language.
17.
I point at the hatch, I point at him, and then at myself, and then like make like a climbing motion. And I realized, does he get it now?
Yes.
Okay, after so a bit, you're like, oh, okay, that's what you mean.
I will kind of direct him to quietly, kind of so I'm standing behind him, so I'm more hidden. Just make Kodak kind of do it, just kind of side shuffle so he's under the hatch. And then I just
Webby!
Clamber up him.
All right.
Gonna clamber up him to get to the hatch.
Lain, I need you to make me a strength check to climb up on top of Kodak.
I'll help. I'll just slowly lifting.
Give the help action to get Lain on top of your shoulders.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna hold my action in case she falls. Just in case.
Okay.
Strength check?
Yeah, strength.
Well, thank God I rolled what I did. 14.
Okay.
It's a -1.
You managed to get on top of Kodak's shoulders, but now comes the part where you have to try and get the door open.
Trying to do this like sneakily.
Do you want to investigate?
Too many people noticing. Yeah, I'll investigate.
Do an investigation check.
Can we see this happening? I mean, it's such a small...
Roll a perception check.
It's such a small...
Me and Kodak
It is a very small room. I mean, Lucian rolled a 1. Lucian rolled a 1, so he's just busy with the dagger, so Lucian's not seeing any of this.
Should Kodak and I roll a stealth to see if they notice us?
Yes, you have to roll stealth. You have to roll stealth at this.
That's a 28.
Mine's a 26.
26. But
I see it.
Dagon sees. Dagon sees all.
Everyone's having this heartfelt moment just in the background. There's just a tower of crocodiling girl sidling towards the hatch in the ceiling.
Mid-conversation with Adeline, like still talking. His eyes just...
You don't see us.
Like do the
look away.
Do you say this out loud, Kodak?
Yes, of course.
That's gonna make Mirage turn her head and be like, "What do you want to?"
What are you doing?
Nothing. You don't see us.
Yes, I do. yes, I do. Actually, I do.
I frantically rolled
do you
a nat 20 for a 24 on investigation. So I'm just like scrambling
I'm
to
just
get through
stalling
this
at
hatch.
this point.
You
I'm just stalling.
You
We're
look.
training for our circus act.
With that high of an investigation, Lain, you see there's a lock on the door handle. And it's a 6-digit code.
Fuck! Can I try it? I don't know if
1, 2,
this
3,
will
4,
work. Can
5,
I
6.
try and... Can
Are
I
you gonna
try and...
You want to try
try and
brute
pick the
force it?
lock? Well, I was gonna say, I don't know if I'm crowbar or anything. I was just gonna ask if I could, like, try and, like, pick the lock somehow, or, like, pull out, like, a stethoscope and start lock picking.
Do you have
She really wants to get up to the light in this.
lock-picking?
There's this, like...
I do.
You do,
I have
but you're watching
these
this
tools.
and you're a little bit of ways.
I have thieves' tools. I can lockpick.
Are you
Okay.
okay?
Yeah,
have
you know
proficiency in
what?
them.
You know what? I'd like to see you try to make this happen. Give me a, what would that be? That would be a sleight of hand with your thieves' tools, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Got
Let's
this.
see if you beat the DC
You
I
got
have set
this.
in my head.
So it would be sleight of hand plus... Okay, since I'm proficient in thieves' tools, would it just be sleight of hand, or would it be sleight of hand plus something?
How does proficiency works? It would be sleight of hand plus your proficiency bonus, yes? Or just...
Okay, so it'd be a plus 10. That is a 28. She, like, looked up this thing and realized, like, the hatch and realized what it was, and there's just this, like, childlike, oh, lighthouse light, must go.
Okay. You managed to sneak, like, a little pin thing that you have in your thing. You managed to find the tiny little hole and just start tick, 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 tick. And it opens, and you are starting to take off the lock,
Oh no.
and then you hear in your head, Lain, "My child, getting into places that you're not supposed to be at."
Is that... Do I recognize this voice?
Yes, you do. This is the old fox. This is your captain.
Daddy.
I'm just checking. I'm just
No,
like, is
no,
this
I get it, I
Mirage
get
and
it.
she lost the accent? Is this Lucian? Who is this?
No, no, this is your captain.
Like, as she's pulling this lock off and everything, she's just gonna reply like, "Oh, come on, you live in my brain like half the time. You know, like if one, I've never been to a lighthouse before, but like you gotta go see the light when you're at a lighthouse. Like it's the best part. Also, recon. If anything's gonna let me see through this storm, it's gonna be this thing."
My child, just so curious about everything.
Well, you thought that was an advantage when we met, remember?
You hear
She's kind of grinning to herself as she's just mentally like looking up at this lock, pulling like undoing the different bits of it. She's not like disassembling it, but she's just
No, I
getting
know
it
you're
open.
not. Yeah.
Just having the kind of grinning as she's having this conversation.
Well, don't take too long. And you kind of feel a little bit of a cold wind kind of brush through from the window. And Lucian's like, "Phew, gosh, it's gotten quite cold in here. He's gonna work on this." And just this once, you then, Lain, start to feel yourself levitate off of Kodak's shoulders as this kind of fog and bit puts you up and out to the top right next to the light.
Oh shit.
And you see the form of your captain in the fog, and it's just like 30 seconds tops. And winks and goes away.
Kodak back where they are goes, "See? You can't see us!"
And you
Yeah,
say
her eyes
that
kind of
out
like-
loud. And Mirage is like,
I know, again, I see you, big guy. I do.
"Do you pack us for being stupid or something?"
No, not at all.
And then you hear in your head,
See, there's
Kodak,
no there
maybe you
anymore.
might need to close that first before Lucia notices.
Yeah, like Lain had been like when she got the door open, she had like reached up because she was just gonna like swing herself, like acrobatic swing herself up in there. But then this happens, she's just like, and she's quickly going to kind of what do I see when I get up in here?
You are kind of right at the very top where this light is, and normally when there's a lighthouse and there's a big light, there's a big like rail all around. So like every 2 seconds you are just, if you're looking directly at it, I think the first time you look, you're like, oh, geez, gosh. You're blinded by this bright, bright light that this light is giving off. You're just like, ugh. And make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
Second one of the night.
That's a 10.
So you get blinded, like, ugh! And you start to open your eyes, and you start to see bits of stars and like little bits of your vision, just like, you know, when you get stars in your eyes? You get that for a minute, but then you blink, and it eventually goes away. You beat the DC. Good for you.
Yay. Is the light in here, does it rotate, or is it just in all directions?
It's rotating all around, like it goes in a circle.
I like the idea as she kind of like leans up against like where these glass walls and this railing are, to kind of like look out the window, and as she does for a second, like the light passes behind her, so she just sees her own shadow kind of reflected out onto the ground below, but like there's a second taller shadow next to it.
There is indeed.
On her left side. That's the side this scabbard's on. But then she's gonna basically following the thing around, avoiding the hopping over, or just avoiding the trapdoor along the way. She's just gonna be following this light, looking out the window, and she's gonna be trying to see if like she can see any of these eel creatures on the move, if she can see where this other ship is crashed at, check on ours, see if they look okay.
Yeah, sure.
From like the light sweeping through the storm, because if anything's gonna give her enough lighting to see through it, it's gonna be this thing.
Definitely, yeah. Give me perception check at advantage.
Rolled the same thing both times. 21.
21. All right, so you look out, and still there's thunder and lightning crackling all around. It was time to take off the horns. Time to take off the horns. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Sorry, Lain. Continuing.
Slowly pulling his head backwards.
So you look around, and you see that the storm is still not letting up at any site. It seems to actually get a little bit more dangerous, but you're still safe in this lighthouse. But luckily, you don't see any eel folk patrolling all around. Nothing like that nearby. You look up ahead, and you do see a ship. The Annabelle Lee, the one that you had all traveled to. And you see that it's still there. It hasn't moved from its port. It's a little hard to see everybody there, but you might see like a little bit of a figure here and there passing by, and they're still making assessments of that ship. And then you kind of notice a little bit of a divot going, like, you kind of like when you see kind of like a circle, you see like a divot going like inward towards the island. So kind of like when it's a circle, but then there's like a little bit of land that recedes back and then goes forward. And you notice some of the waves kind of, instead of, like, you see some of the waves crashing on the sides of either the island or where you're looking. There's no crashes in that little divot area. So,
as someone who's sailed, does that seemingly like make sense? Like if there's like an opening there, would that make it so the waves don't react that way?
It would make sense in your mind, Lain. Yes.
Okay, intriguing.
And then you hear in your head, "Sorry, dear. 30 seconds are up." And once again, the fog ends up wisping you away and bringing you down back towards the middle of the lighthouse. And you just see the hatch close up and the lock put itself back on. And Lucy's like, what's going on? What happened?
I'm sitting on, just one leg on either side of the neck. I'm just sitting on Kodak's shoulders now, kind of like one arm resting on top of his head. And I'm just like casually drinking tea. And I'm just like, must have been the wind. It's kind of crafty in here.
You hear a low chuckle in your head.
Loki, I'm so sad I couldn't stay up there longer, because I was just like, oh, this would be such a great time for Craith to just be like, I'm gonna be creepy in the top of the lighthouse. Like,
Sorry, my dear. There's only so much I can give. And it's at that point, it's like, oh, okay, well then. It has been a little bit chilly. Yes, I think that should do it. And then Lucian takes up the dagger, trots over to you, is like, here's this. And give me a second. You notice that that your dagger that you've received, it looks the same, but you do actually give me your Arcana check on it.
That's my first one.
You do have Adeline next to you if she wants to give help.
I do.
Bless you, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, still not good. That's a 12.
Oh.
12, okay.
I have a +1.
Okay, so you look at it and you can sense that there's some kind of magic or thing that's been infused with your dagger that you can't quite put it together with what it is.
Okay.
You're just looking at it and Lucian's just like, well,
what? It looks the same. What did you do to it exactly? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the art.
Apologies. Here, just hold it out. Hold it out.
Okay. You hold it out.
And you see him kind of whoosh, put his hand over it. And you notice that when he does that, the dagger itself starts to cloak itself in a black inky liquid. And it coats all around the blade. That should, I mean, if you're in a dangerous situation, that should help give extra damage to whoever is in need. And look at your inventory, Sarah, and you'll notice that you have a new item.
Oh!
Ooh!
Presents.
Ooh!
I got a present! Oh.
What did you get for Mr. Lighthouse? For Mr. Santa?
So what you have essentially received is a dagger of venom.
Ooh.
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 So you get a bonus +1 to attack and damage rolls when made with this magic weapon. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but essentially, if you use poison to attack with this, the creature has to save a DC 15 Constitution saving throw, or take 2d10 poison damage and be poisoned for the next minute. And it's a once-a-day thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. He looks at it, and his eyes just go a bit wide, seeing the black kind of decor around it. So, that is something. Okay, well, thank you for that. I'm sorry, I'm just not used to that. But wow, okay, thank you.
Of course.
Oh man,
Anything to help out.
I pity the poor bastard that gets on the end of that next.
It definitely looks deadly, dear.
Say so. I would say so, darling. That is... Wow. Man.
Be careful, it's still got the poison on it. Hold on. And then wipes his hand over it, and not wipes it, but puts his hand over it, and the poison recedes back into the blade.
Okay. So it's only venomous if I use it.
You can use an action to cause the thick black poison to coat the blade. But I can say that you can make that like a bonus action or something. We'll finesse it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, he just is looking down at it in just amazement. He's like... He kind of says, kind of to himself a little bit, but I mean, he's not whispering it, but he's kind of more to himself. He just kind of is looking. He's like, "I'm never gonna believe this," and he's just kind of looking at it, and yeah, he's just kind of in amazement. He's like, "Wow, they're never gonna believe this. They're never gonna believe this," and he just puts it back. Thank you. Thank you. That was something.
Glad to be helpful. Alrighty. Craith. While all of this has been happening, what would you have been doing?
So Craith has been over here by the fire. He's just been sorting through what he has available in his bag. I think by the time he finishes that is about the time that Dagon's getting his dagger back.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll look across and just go, here we are again. Strange, charismatic stranger giving you a gift and you thanking them, whereas when I did it, I was met with ridicule. He gave you poison, I made you large. Which one's more beneficial?
Mirage goes over to you, Craith, and says, again, I think it's how you present your gifts.
You know, Craith, she's right. Your gift would have been interesting in certain situations, let's just say. But on a ship in the middle of the ocean, getting larger wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And he just winks at him.
I don't think you're quite my type. I'd be careful with that. It could be quite deadly. And he'll look at Adeline.
But anyways,
just kind of glaring at him a little bit right now.
But anyways, aside from that, I believe you and I have a conversation to be had.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
In all the excitement and romance in the air, I seem to have forgotten, and I don't forget much, so on the occasion it's quite rare. Well then, I suppose let's have it.
And Mirage will just say this loudly. She doesn't really care of who's hearing. How and when did you find out about the pearl?
Oh, the pearl. Well, when you've spent as much time sequestered as you will aboard, various ships and various ports, surrounded by various seedy people, that honestly make me look like a saint in most situations. Really, I'm not that bad, am I? Anyway, you hear things, rumors mostly, and for the longest time that's all it was. Dust. who can't help be enticed by the promise of immortality. Imagine having no real concern for anyone and watching them all grow old and fade away while you remain. Oh, friends come and go for sure, but the promise of immortality, seeing all the new changes, essentially being unable to be caught. What is a life sentence when you're immortal? It's nothing but a way to figure out how to escape. I haven't set foot on land under pain of, well, death, for lack of a better word, in, years before I got off in Pearlport. Sorry, the dogs are barking.
As his hounds of hell sound in the background.
So
Exactly.
Right, yeah, they're hounds of the hall, right? As my dear captain, I say captain, he's more of a jailer than anything, if I must say so myself. He's harsh but fair. He knows that I can't be trusted among the general public. I'm far too... what's the right word? Volatile. We actually had quite the little deal worked out. But, cabin fever and all. And now, look how my station's improved. My sequestering quarters have nearly tripled in size. It is nice having companions to be trapped with. As far as the pearl goes, oh, for the love of God. Shut up!
The voices in Craith's head still happening of the dead speaking, because that's still going on. It's like, shut up, voices in my head.
In the middle of that conversation, Craith just goes, shut up! And the voices stop, and we're all like, what the fuck?
They start going,
The voices go.
Exactly.
Anyway, the more I sat and thought about the promise of being immortal, the more enamored I became by it, and I saw a chance to get out, and, well, I took it. Freedom is a funny thing, isn't it? What is freedom, really? I was more free on the ship, doing whatever I wanted, and with no real fears than I was, quote-unquote, free on land, hiding, hoping that I wasn't caught. Rest warrants are such a bother. What is real freedom? And at this, his eyes are going to start to... He's still going to be, let me look at the map to see if this is possible.
Did we hear all that?
It is now. He's not being quiet.
No. Mirage asked out loud about the pearl, and unless Craith specified, he said that all out loud.
The freedom part has perked his Dagon's ears a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Adeline.
Look at
as he starts talking about freedom, his eyes are going to... Like, he's still facing Mirage, but his eyes are going to drift on the line.
Can I see that? I'm standing right next to her.
Yeah, but then at that Mirage
I'm
would...
certain that you would.
Yeah. Mirage would grab your face, Craith, to have her look at you. My poor dear. thinking that immortality can grant you freedom.
I'm sure.
I never once said that immortality would grant me freedom, only power.
And you think power grants you freedom?
But you see, power in and of itself is its own form of prison, because you're expected to do things with power.
Then wouldn't it be better if you didn't have any of that power?
He's going to lean in very close and just whisper in her.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real trick. There's no such thing as freedom. We're all prisoners in some way, shape, or form, and it never ends.
At that, Craith, Mirage grabs your shoulder and slams you against the wall.
Yeah!
Grab this bitch by the balls, woman.
Easy now.
Get him.
You're done speaking. You think freedom is not possible? And you think there's no freedom at all? And she points over to Kodak. He was wearing chains earlier. Where are his chains now?
This is true, yes. Not all. Damn it! I had a really good word for this and I lost it.
Mirage threw you off guard. Mirage threw you off guard.
Right?
I'm gonna say, well, you think could I add a thing?
Sure, go ahead.
I will. I will say, while all this was going on, after when attention was getting drawn back by the dagger and all, Lain kind of leaned down by almost like cheek to like top of head near Kodak's ear and just went, "Thanks, bud." And we'll kind of like the arm will just tighten slightly, almost like hug-like. When this pearl gets brought up, though, like her eyes just like dart over to that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And when Mirage like points over at Kodak and consequently Lain will kind of like almost straighten up slightly more at this point in conversation as well.
So,
yes, Dagon?
go ahead.
All that talk about freedom. Can I roll an insight check against Craith?
Go ahead.
To see,
I was just about to do the same for Mirage.
Same.
see,
Me.
yeah.
No big deal.
I-
I'm not rolling good tonight. I need God or something.
20.
Bless my guys.
All right, what are the... Yes, Kodak? You want to roll insight?
Yes.
Go ahead.
$21.
21.
20.
All right, so... Craith, for those that have gotten a 20, I want you to tell them what this insight is. And secretly message me the true insight, because Mirage rolled a 27.
Shit.
So message me what Mirage would see.
Yeah.
But say what a 20 would give for everybody and what would below that give, unless it's like single digits.
Yeah, and Dagon's more like it is more about like all that freedom talk really like pricked his ears up, because he knows what real freedom is. He lives it every day. So
Lane's hackles are also kind of up.
So he's a little intrigued by what exactly he means by all this freedom talk. Like
below a 20, it kind of looks like it's just being an asshole to be an asshole. 2021. There, you pick up on some conviction in what he's saying. He's never. Hang on, I gotta think. He's never straight up lied. He's been deceitful, but never just straight up lied. He tells uneasy truths. So you would get that there is no such thing as freedom. But you also kind of pick up that you have an inkling that there's more to it, but you can't put your thumb on it.
Right.
You can't tell exactly what it is.
Yep.
He's lying and then lying, basically.
Right.
So
Yeah.
He's Dagon.
Yeah.
Let me send this to you.
Yeah, sounds good. Yes, Dagon?
I was just gonna say, Dagon, hearing all this talk and then seeing like the slamming against the wall and just all that's going on, and also him kind of looking and staring way too much at Adeline for his liking. He's going to kind of step up a little bit in front of her, not blocking her, but like a little step up.
I can't spell for shit.
And
True enemy. Spelling.
Meanwhile, 10 feet further up.
And
scans across, and he has to like tilt the head up further to look Lain.
Dagon's gonna kind of step up a bit, not to him, but more just trying to keep Adeline out of view a little bit. And he's gonna just say, "You say there's no such thing as freedom. So what is freedom to you, then? Freedom doesn't exist. What is it to you? I live it every day. You say you're free as a bird? Nobody that's as free as a bird talks the way you do, darling. I am free as a bird. And I know what it means to be free and the price of freedom. So in all your talk of freedom, what exactly is it? Since you are such an expert on it."
I never consider myself an expert on it. I'm just very
With such conviction, though.
observant. I see things. I notice things.
Really?
People are bound to might I give you an example?
What else are we going to do? You like to do that, don't you? To throw people off, don't you? Am I wrong? I just noticed there's a little bit, tiny change in Dagon's demeanor. He seems a bit harsh, and than you've ever seen him.
Adeline's gonna keep one hand on Dagon, probably like gripping his hand just to keep him near her.
If I may, I don't think that this needs to devolve into us fighting amongst ourselves. There are ravenous eels waiting for us to do that downstairs. But if I might make an observation and simply ask a question that might progress this conversation a bit further. Why aren't you standing in the place you were just seconds ago?
What do you mean?
How much thought went into that movement of yours to stand in front of the dear lady?
How much thought?
Was it planned? Did you weigh the pros and cons of it? Or was it almost instinctual?
He just kind of smiles, he gets what he's getting at. Someone in my line of work weighs every outcome imaginable, darling. But yet, I act on instinct. And quite frankly, the reason I stepped in front of this young lady, because I just got a vibe that she doesn't like you. So...
most people don't like me.
I know for a fact that you could disintegrate me into oblivion right now for stepping forward. But yet, I did. So, I have outweighed every option.
See, you are quite wrong about one thing. I would never disintegrate you. Now, the frightened boy on deck? Perhaps. But you're quite fearless. And that... What?
Continue. Continue.
It's amazing.
Don't lose it.
And that makes me respect you. And I could never, incinerate someone I respect. Fear is nothing more than weakness. There's no sense in being afraid. Fear is so temporary. Bravery is stupid.
Agreed.
But the opposite of fear is not bravery. The opposite of fear is fearlessness. I've never been really great with words, but you know what I'm saying. You won't have beholden to anything if you're not afraid of anything. It's very easy to test people this way.
Craith, give me a perception check real quick.
Well, shit. It's not going to matter. It's in that one.
Never mind. All I will say is that you don't see it, but you do feel Mirage's hand tightening on your shoulder and start to become pointy.
Hey, listen!
Yes, Kodak?
Hey, look, listen.
I'm gonna step over to Mirage. And much like Captain Sheila did on mine, I'm gonna place a hand on Mirage's shoulder. Just wait. His time will come.
You know, I can't tell if it's a compliment or an insult that a sociopath affects me. I'm going to take it as a compliment because of the shit day that I've had.
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
And fear.
Dagon, my friend, I don't think your day's going all that bad, no doubt do you.
I've had worse, trust me. But this has been pretty bad.
All right,
I
don't think about
fear
it.
goes, darling. Fear is not a bad thing whatsoever. Fear keeps you alive.
Dagon, give me a perception check. Actually, give me insight check.
My insight.
Or whatever's better. Whatever's better.
Insight.
Whatever's better. Insight or perception?
I'm going with perception.
Okay.
Use those eyeballs.
18.
You look at Mirage as she looks at you, and she smiles, and you get the feeling that I don't know how else to say that she vibes with what you're saying, and that she believes that fear is not a bad thing.
Oh no.
He kind of just nods to her a little bit in acknowledgement.
Mirage turns back to Craith and is like, well, maybe after this is all over, you might get retaught a few things, and maybe not be seeking power to give you the freedom that you ask for. You should learn to let go.
I won't deny that there's something to be said about power and freedom. But it's all about the type of power you're looking for.
Is Mirage still pinning him to the wall?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You still have to send me your thing, by the way. I never got it.
I know, I'm still typing it up.
Okay.
I was monologuing.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Craith is a man of many words.
Monologuing.
was monologuing. Monologuing.
You got me monologuing, you sly dog.
You sly dog.
I will say for Adeline, who's got a hold of Dagon, you can almost feel his body temperature getting warmer. As he was talking to Craith, you feel
For that.
a little heat rising off of him. And then he takes a step back.
This has been enlightening for us all, I do think. But not to change the subject too drastically away from myself, because I do love talking about myself.
Okay.
We are still, for what it's worth, trapped up here with, cannon fodder downstairs, but they are so dangerous when they die.
Hearing that. It's still the streets downstairs. Like, Lucian kicks in and is like, well, if you want something to do, I could lend you some tools to maybe try and fix something up to help. It's just like, it could use your touch, because correct me if I'm wrong, you freaky thing, sorry, that's you freaky thing,
Well, you got it right, Doc.
Wow.
Do you like creations? Do you like creating things? You seem like it.
Oh yes, I do. As a matter of fact, no. Wait on it.
You have no idea.
Anyway.
Okay,
yes.
then come. I might have something that might help you out. And he's motioning for you to come to the table.
At that. Oh yeah. At that, Craith is going to, as he's still pinned up against the wall, click his heels together, and he's going to teleport to sitting on top of the table.
He's like, ah! Okay, well, we need the table, so, do you mind getting off, please?
Only since you ask so nicely.
And you and
Right off
Lucian...
the table, he'll knock a vial or something. He'll knock a vial or something off and grab it with his tail. And pop it back up to himself.
Yep. And you and Lucian are at the table and you start crafting together. But before you kind of get into your thing, you hear in your head a colder, dark tone from Mirage. Do not make me have to keep an eye on you as I will have no trouble making sure you fail your quest at immortality. Is that clear? This will be as easy as cracking a walnut open.
Do you know the difficult thing about cracking walnuts? If you try and do it the wrong way, it just doesn't work.
I will find a way to make it work, you sick bastard. And that's all. And then she's gonna go over to the corner and just be moody and stare out the window.
Brooding.
Out loud. After she says that, out loud, Craith's just going to go, "Oh, I've been called worse. Now, my enigmatic friend, what do you have in mind?"
And at that point, we are now actually going to cut to Adeline. So Craith and Lucian, they're gonna start working on crafting some things. Oh, well, I figured maybe it might be some helpful to work some things out and all this stuff. And you see a weird look in his eyes, Craith, as then he turns back to Adeline and is like, "You have something magical, don't you?"
Me?
Yes, you. I'm sensing it in your bag.
Oh, and she goes through her bag, just kind of keeping one eye on Craith and the other on her bag.
Mm-hmm. And do you start taking stuff out?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Yeah, no. So you start pulling things out. What would be some of the things that you think that he's referring to that you start pulling out?
Really, the only thing I can think of is her sword.
And that's already out by your side, right?
Okay, so she's confused as to what else it could be because her sword's by her side, but then he points to the bag and she's just like, "Well, I don't know anything."
Well, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. That's magic too, but that can only be met as accessed by something you have. Something you have
Right.
in that bag.
Okay. What? Oh, the note. And she looks for the note.
Mm-hmm. And he kind of rushes up to you.
She's gonna pull it out and hold it out and be like, "There's nothing written on it. But what do you know?"
Spectacles, looks at it. May I?
Yes, you may.
Takes it. It's like, oh, that's very interesting. That's kind of fun. Kind of like scans it all around and everything. It's like, aha! And then rushes over to the barrels and it's just like clitter clattering. It's like, okay, where is that? Where's the thing? It's like, aha! Perfect. And then we'll just kind of grab some kind of liquid, puts on to, sorry, weird feta tiefling, and puts it on the table. And then he gets this kind of invisible, clear liquid and just starts taking like a rag and dabbing on it. It's like, okay, and starts like dabbing on the thing. It's like, heat. Can anyone here produce heat? Oh, wait, no, I can. And then he snaps his fingers. Oh, Kodak, did you want to?
I mean, I have a tinderbox.
Okay. Do you want to heat this up?
Certainly.
Okay. And he holds the note and so that you can light it up underneath. And you're kind of...
Yeah. He takes out a flint and steel and just tries to catch it on the paper.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, oh, not on the paper, please. Just a little below.
Never mind.
And you were lighting it out underneath. And it takes a little bit, but eventually you see words start to appear. on the paper. And it starts until it becomes a full-fledged piece of paper with lettering on it. And it's like, that should do it. Here. And gives the note back to you, Adeline.
Okay.
You look down at the letter?
Yeah.
Okay. It takes the first few words till you recognize this handwriting. My dear Adeline, I knew the day would come when you would run away from home. I knew this was not the life that you wanted, and my mother made it very clear to be under her orders. But you're only half of my child, as you are half of hers. So I took the liberty to put that sword in. I just knew there would be a day when the sea would call you. There's a bottom part here that unfortunately I have never been able to decipher. But it was left by her. Maybe you might be able to figure it out. Until we meet again, my child. Your father. Oh, T.
Oh. Are you okay?
Okay.
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. And
It's just been 4 months since I've seen my dad IRL, so.
Oh.
Tea.
Oh.
I'm okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was good.
We love you, T.
Love you.
Love you too.
Yay. Oh, hugs all around.
Good time.
So yeah, you finish reading that part from your father.
Yeah, she does have one teardrop on the note, but then she just knows that several people are watching her, so she just whatever is left, she just sucks some back in basically, and folds the note and puts it back in her bag.
Perception check with advantage.
Okay, thank you. They were both really good rolls. Thank you for the blessing. 22.
Woo! You're starting to fold up the note, and you remember that last part, which was a little weird. That there was something else on the letter that he's never been able to figure out. And you open it back up. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's a little paragraph underneath your father's, like, kind of quickish handwriting. It's wording you can't understand.
So it's not in a language that I know.
Nope. I don't think you would know this.
Okay.
But there's a possibility that there's others around that could help you.
Quick calls bilingual.
He is going to get up with the note and move over to be just kind of motion for Lain and Kodak to come over and just fold the part that is her little sentimental note and just show them the paragraph and just be like, okay, just first of all, does anyone know what this is?
I look at it.
I also look at it.
So you all three, including Adeline, look at this. Mirage just rolled a nat one, so she did not notice. She's busy brooding at the window. And
Dagon's included in this as well.
Yeah, I'm saying Dagon's included as well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that Kodak, Lain, and Dagon, along with Adeline, you're all around this note. Lucian is with Craith as they're working on stuff, which I will let you know later on, Travis. And Mirage is brooding by the window, just kind of like brooding.
I will say,
Kodak?
Lain minor illusion the scent of like sea flowers over by Mirage. Like, cheer up.
Cheer up. Yeah,
I got things to do.
So sweet.
Be happy.
Yeah. So, Kodak, you look at this letter. It's gibberish to you. It does not make any sense.
Damn it.
But Lain and Dagon, you recognize this little trick of what's in this letter.
Oh shit! Is it?
I know.
Is it?
Is it?
Can't.
Is it these guys?
One way to find out, baby.
No, they can't.
Oh, we need paper. We need paper.
Can't,
Paper.
can't.
Lane is just gonna like basically like backflip off Kodak's shoulders and just pull yanking papers out of her bags and ink.
So, okay. Wait. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna look up at Lain and be. Do you understand?
Hmm?
You understand this?
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a conversation for later. Okay. And he's gonna.
Wait, you both recognize this?
I can read this. Yeah, I can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Is this important to you?
What is it? Of course it is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's get to work then. And he's gonna kind of look at it and read it.
All right.
Lane's gonna start like scrawling it down onto paper, just double checking like our ciphers and stuff to make sure we're translating right.
All right. So with that,
Find the code word earlier in the paragraph, like all the stuff.
I had a feeling.
I'm gonna send something both to you, Lain, and you, Dagon.
Okay.
Give me a second, as I send this to you both.
More drop.
So it takes a little bit of time to figure this out, but you both
Well,
look at the message and end up translating it.
Okay.
Yeah, secret.
Does this make we're like crowded over paper? This makes sense, right? This like
I mean, can I read it? Does that make sense? Yes. Do I understand at all what I'm looking at? Absolutely not. But maybe. Okay, I think we.
Adeline's gonna look up at Kodak and just be like, "Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that is a little clueless here."
Sorry, darling. This is specific language that only certain people are privy to.
That's usually how languages work.
fair.
You're right.
You have a point.
But this is even more special. And that's might be important. So, Lain, you want to do the honors?
Works for me. And she will kind of just running, kind of double checking it one last time. She goes, "Okay, so if we decoded this right, which I think we did,
I think so.
It should say if the Blades wielder's determination is true." And I'm not sure if this is supposed to be fund or if they just misspelled it and it's find. Find the piece that resembles you.
I was wondering that as well, but maybe.
Find the piece that resembles you.
Does that mean
So everyone that's around that letter, give me a perception check. Adeline, roll at advantage.
Thank you.
I'm guessing Craith is occupied.
Unless you want to try and see what's going on.
20.
20. Okay.
That's an 11. I rolled bad.
11.
16?
I rolled
16.
So at disadvantage, it's still a 21 to overhear what's going on.
Yeah, I'd say you.
16 and a 15 on the die.
I mean, I'd say Craith, you turn around and you hear what's going on, but they are huddled like together that you don't necessarily understand what they are talking about fully, but you did hear that final part. And who had the higher out of the rolls?
I had 16.
I had a 20.
20. Kodak, you turn and you look down and you're looking at Adeline's new sword. You start kind of admiring it and looking at all the pieces and kind of the jewel-encrusted pieces all around. You see that one of them is a little off in color.
I kind of like put my hand like under Adeline's arm to like lift. Do you see this?
Oh.
Yes, Adeline?
No, I was like doing the motion.
We're miming.
It's miming. Okay, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
lift it out.
sorry.
Yeah. So you look at it and it's like, what are you talking about? And then you look at this handle. These things are covered in blue, like kind of like sapphire-ish, like crystals all around. You see one that is not a deep blue, but a blue-gray.
Okay. She's looking intently at that one now.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see her looking at this blade?
Oh yeah, you're all around. You four are all around each other. You would see her looking intently at that.
Something.
I literally went, what is that?
Oh, peering.
Something on the blade.
Yes, there's a stone that's the color of my eyes.
Your eyes.
My eyes.
I mean, that's
What do you
probably
do?
important, right?
Can I touch the stone?
You want to touch the stone?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Oh boy.
You go.
This is how Adeline gets trapped inside a sword.
Oh,
Yep.
no.
You go
It's fun to
and
get
you
help with
touch this stone. Yeah, what was that, Dagon?
nothing.
You touch the stone, and immediately it starts to glow brightly and starts to feel kind of cool to the touch as the light gets brighter and brighter, and whoosh, an orb pops out of the gem and starts slowly floating up to where it gets to your face. I'm gonna need everyone to close their eyes for me real quick as I set something up.
Oh boy, let me put my other headphone for the full effect. One sec.
Oh my god. What's happening?
Eyes are closed.
What's happening?
What are we doing?
Everyone open their eyes and make sure that you have your volume turned up.
Hello? If you have managed to retrieve this message, well done. You may very well have the bravery and spirit to wield my sword. Sorry, I'm not entirely sure how this goes. You must understand, my life has been nothing without the sea. It is my home, where I belong. All these titles bandits have given me, even those that I struck down with that very blade you hold. The Pirate Queen, Bloody Lady. Were they ever wrong? No. But these names, they allow me to have freedom, to make my own choices, no matter what. Sure, they don't help in making me a good mother. I did leave, after all. But at the time, In that moment, I chose your father. I chose to love him, and I chose to have you. Listen to me. Getting all sentimental. So against my nature. And yet, dear Adeline, if you are still listening, there may still be a chance. Come find me to fix what was broken. Start anew, but that is your choice to make. You've already had so much taken away, and as a woman of respect and duty, I won't take this one from you. If you truly are my daughter, you'll do what's best for you. Until then, dear one.
Alrighty. We can leave that.
2 in 1 day. Chelsea.
Oh my god.
That was so good.
I have to give credit where credit is due. Thank you, Ruka Samuels, for providing that lovely voice of Willow Wayfarer.
Ruka?
Yes, Ruka.
The Ruka?
The Ruka, yes.
I am a huge fan of hers.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh.
Ruka, for those that don't know, is an amazing cosplayer and D&D person on TikTok and all the social medias.
Yeah.
And I managed to have a chat with her and asked if she would be interested in this role, and she said yes.
Oh.
That's so sick, Chels.
I follow her on TikTok. I love her cosplay so much.
I know, she's so great.
That is
I'm starstruck.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Oh, and Ruka did want me to tell you, sorry for your absent pirate mom.
I don't care. It's her. I love her so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's so cool.
Garbage, and I would just be on my feet.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
Yes, thank you, Ruka. That was wonderful.
Thank you, Ruka.
Amazing.
Bravo.
I was sitting here listening. I'm like, is that Sarah? No, I don't think that's Sarah. Who is that? Like, whose voice is this?
Well done.
And at the end of that message, you see the orb dissipate and fade away.
And she just sits there and just blinks, and she just goes, 2 messages in 1 day from both parents. I never would have thought that would ever happen.
Does Dagon hear that?
Yep.
Okay.
She says that out loud.
He's gonna just say, you didn't know your parents, I take it?
No. I know my father. I had never known my birth mother.
Similarities are growing. But this isn't about me, though. Are you all right? That was quite something.
That was kind of a lot.
I am filled with a new sense of pride, of some joy, and some great determination. I want to get out of here as soon as possible to fulfill all of that.
I mean, I'm not surprised your mom sounds cool as hell.
Yes, doesn't she?
It does. And you will get out of here. I'll make sure of it. Because... Wow. The language makes a little bit more sense now. What that was written in makes a bit more sense.
How so?
Well, that language is used for those of a certain profession. Outside of legal means, shall we say. So, makes a bit of sense why that writing, which kind of implied you finding your mother, kind of makes a bit of sense now.
Dearest, I'm not a child. I wish you would tell me the truth.
That is the truth. It is the language of thieves.
Thieves, ruffians, those not with the best relationship with the law.
And my mother is a pirate. I know this.
Oh, that's fine. That was the language it was written in. Makes sense a bit. Wow.
Do you need like a hug or anything? That was a lot.
Lain, if you want to give me a hug, I'm all arms.
Hug. She will hug.
Hug.
And Shun will kind of pop out of the hair and just like nuzzle.
Oh, you just melt.
Just nuzzles against your cheek.
Oh my god, bird. Love this.
Bird.
Good bird.
Dagon just...
Yes, bird make everything better.
Birds make everything.
Yes. Bird is good.
That is good. Yeah.
Dagon just takes kind of a couple steps back and is just kind of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
No. She'll grab him and pull him into the hug.
Yeah!
Yes, group hug.
Yes! Group hug!
All right, well.
Minus crit.
Okay.
Mirage turns to you all. It's like, that's a sweet moment. Glad you.
I'm gonna lightning lasso her and pull her into the group hug.
Are you gonna try to damage her? That's an attack roll. If you
No,
do that.
without damage. I'm just pulling.
Okay, I gotta make a strength check then.
I'd like to think that the circle just shuffles over to where Mirage is seated and just includes her in the hug.
We all turn and look at. Actually, no. Yeah, we all turn and look at her and then shuffle, like before she can get away.
You know. I'll just have to be like,
Advance! Advance troops.
Okay. I'm included in the circle. Wow. Okay. All right.
Here's the circle, darling.
And
Literally.
essentially puts.
Don't be such a square.
No, that's Craith, and we'll the arms around the rest of you all. And it's like,
Adeline goes, well, Mirage, I do have you to thank.
May?
I wouldn't have found the note without you.
Right. You're welcome.
And she hugs her a little bit tighter.
Oh, it's like, and we'll hug you and say, I'm glad you got to be in touch with your parents. That's quite a lot. In a good way. Sorry. We'll start to... Craith, what did you do now?
Oh boy.
The gift.
Nice, I see it. And
Just
because you're up close, would break as Mirage sort of breaks away. You kind of do see a little bit of a tear streaming down her cheek.
Aww.
Oh, sorry. So now I'm getting emotional. Crap.
Yeah. This is
No, not the eye makeup.
emotional damage.
Damage.
Do you want to get an insight check?
Yes.
Yes.
No roll for crap.
Oh my god, I can't fucking roll for crap either.
What's an 8 do for me?
Advantage, please, sweetheart.
Okay, thank you.
Woohoo!
I rolled
It's
a
the same
7.
number, Chelsea.
No!
My dice are
Toast
not anymore.
fate.
Dagon.
Other
I'm
people can
no.
roll inside if they like.
Trying different dice.
It's okay.
He's stepped off a bit,
Mm-hmm.
fiddling with his a necklace.
I think because you were so close, you would at least glean the fact, Adeline, that it seems like the mention of parents and reuniting
Oh,
has her a little emotional.
yeah. She's gonna pull out a handkerchief and hand it to her.
Jeez Louise. I don't know what's up. I don't cry in front of people I don't know.
Oh.
But you do know us, dear. We are friends.
Yeah. Yes, precisely. Best DM. Making heart hands at the camera right now. I just realized you can't see it.
Oh gosh, I'm actually crying.
No, Chelsea, we love you!
We all
Our
had to
plan
cry.
has worked. Chelsea must reveal her true mermaid nature now.
Mermaid
It was the-
spears. Quick, take them and put them in a vial.
It's like, no, don't, no, don't. That's not something that's a myth.
Not okay. Not okay.
Dang it, I was gonna add it to a drink.
Trust me, darling, you don't want to have mermaid tears. They're not. They're just salty and briny.
Deep down inside, Lain feels slightly bad for excluding Craith from the group hug, but she just kind of is like looking over at him like, but how would I without him being creepy?
There's like you
a true
pan over
conundrum.
and look at Craith just as lightning strikes, and it just like brightens up his features, but in like a scary way.
Wow.
Never mind.
Like from Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
Kodak,
Yeah, exactly.
what was your insight or perception that you rolled from earlier?
Whoomst.
You rolled insight, right? Or was it perception?
I got a 16 on my insight.
Okay. If you took the roll and then added it to your perception, what would it be?
It would be a 19.
You notice that Mirage spoke in a different voice.
I'm gonna look in her eyes. I'm like behind Adeline, and I'm just gonna like sidestep over the shoulder.
Mirage looks at you, is like, what?
You all right?
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Sorry. Got a bit emotional there.
I don't believe you.
Let's just say it's been a while since I've ever saw family. Given the situation.
Me too. How long has it been for you?
Years. I don't even count anymore because of there's no point in going back.
Well, I have been away from my family for 5 years. Taken against my will.
Smiles a bit. The similarities grow, don't they? And her voice shifts.
Indeed they do.
But, I mean, you probably have family to go back to. I don't.
I hope so. I don't know.
You are in better circumstances than me, given that I was essentially the one that brought my family to an end. And that's where we're gonna cut to break.
Ah!
I'm looking at the time, I'm like, I have to find a cutoff point, and like, okay, this is it.